Hi guys, welcome to our first flipped video. The topic of this video is area versus perimeter. And this is also the subject of our entire math unit, Unit 8, is area and perimeter. We'll be looking at the difference between the two, as well as how to calculate the measurements of area and perimeter in rectangles and squares. I want to remind you that with these videos you can pause if I'm going too fast and rewind and watch the information again. If I ask you to take notes, you can also pause so that you can write down what I need you to write down without my video moving too fast for you. Alright, here we go. Okay, so I know you study area and perimeter in 3rd grade, so this is a review. Area is the measurement of the space inside a shape. So the measurement of the surface, all of the stuff that fills up the inside of a shape. And we're going to talk about area more tomorrow. Perimeter is the measurement of the distance around a shape. So all of the edge around the outside. Please open your math notes to your next clean page and write down the definition for area and perimeter. And if it helps you, go ahead and draw the pictures too. So when you're calculating perimeter or area of a rectangle or square, it's helpful to remember the characteristics of the shapes that we learned way back in our geometry unit. So something I want you to remember about rectangles is that the opposite sides are the same length. So in this case, whatever this side measures here, this side is going to measure the exact same thing. And whatever the width is on this side, the width on this side is going to be the exact same size as well. Another thing I know you did in 3rd grade is that when you were calculating area and perimeter, you had squares inside the shape that helped you count to be able to determine the area and the perimeter. In 4th grade, we're getting rid of the squares and you need to know the formulas, which are like number sentences, to help you calculate area and perimeter. So one formula for perimeter is perimeter equals length plus width plus length plus width. So let's say that this side of my rectangle is 8 centimeters. And let's say that the width is 2 centimeters. So using my formula, perimeter equals length plus width plus length plus width, all I'm going to do is, just like when we studied algebra, I'm going to replace my variables with the information that I know. So I know that length is 8 centimeters, so I'm going to say perimeter equals 8 plus width plus 8 plus width. Oh, I don't want to write width there. Alright, and I know that my width is 2, it's right here, so I'm going to replace my w's, my widths, with the letter 2. So my formula, or my number sentence, now says perimeter equals 8 plus 2 plus 8 plus 2. And when I add all of those numbers together, I get that the perimeter of this rectangle is 20 centimeters. Please write down this formula for perimeter in your notes. Now, another way to think about perimeter, again, remember what we talked about. We know that the opposite sides of a rectangle are the same length or the same size. So whatever this side of the rectangle is, this side is as well. And whatever the width is over here, the width is the same on this side over here. So let's use the example of 8 and 2 again. So if my length is 8 centimeters, then my width is 2 centimeters. And like we said, if the length on this side is 8 centimeters, the length on this side is 8 centimeters. And if the width over here is 2 centimeters, then I know that the width over here is 2 centimeters. An easier way to do the calculation, and either formula is fine, but an easier way to do the calculation is to think of perimeter as 2 times length plus width, meaning that I'm only going to add one of the lengths and one of the widths and then multiply that number by 2, because I know that this and this are going to be the same size. So let's test this one out. Perimeter equals 2 times, and again I just replace my variables with the information that I know, 2 times length, length is 8, and width is 2. So my number sentence becomes perimeter equals 2 times 8 plus 2. And if you remember back from algebra, I do inside my parentheses first. 8 plus 2 is 10, and 2 times 10 is 20. So again, perimeter equals 20 centimeters. Like I said, it doesn't matter which formula you use. I want you to use whichever one you're more comfortable with. So if it makes more sense to you to add all 4 sides together, that's fine. If you want a little bit of a shortcut and you want to add 2 sides and multiply it by 2, that's fine too. I should say that's fine also. Please write down the second formula in your notes. All right, let's do one practice problem before I send you on your way. So here's my rectangle. Length is 12 inches, width is 5 inches. So I'm going to write my formula, perimeter equals length plus width plus length plus width. And I'm going to substitute the information I know for the variables. So perimeter equals length is 12, so the L gets replaced with a 12, plus width is 5, so I'm going to replace the W with the 5. 12 plus 5 plus 12 plus 5. And we come up with a perimeter when I add all 4 of those numbers. 12 plus 5 is 17. And 17 plus 17 is 34. And don't forget your unit. Perimeter is 34 inches. And if I use the other formula, I would get the exact same answer. Perimeter equals 2 times 12 plus 5. Okay, just a couple hints for you, easy ways to remember perimeter. Perimeter has the word rim tucked inside of it, and you can think of rim as the outside edge of something. And another way that has always helped me is the P in perimeter reminds me of the P in the word plus for addition. So perimeter is the addition or adding up of all of the outside edges. Okay, so here is your wrap up for the lesson. Please take the area versus perimeter day 1 quiz on Edmodo to check your understanding of this lesson. The quiz is posted like I showed you in class today. It's 6 questions. Please go ahead and take the quiz now to show me what you understood from the video. Remember, it's not graded. It doesn't count for a score in my gradebook. It's just to show me how you're understanding. And then I'd like you to please post any questions you may have about the lesson in the reply section of the video post. So where you found the video, reply underneath if you have any questions for me. Or if you feel more comfortable, just send me a direct message with your questions on Edmodo. And we'll go over any questions you may still have in class tomorrow morning. All right, guys, have a great night. I'll see you tomorrow.